I'm Emma Rambert. I'm a wildlife vet in South Africa. We're at the beautiful Swali Kalahari Reserve. What we've done today is dart a male cheetah, adult, as you see behind me. He's slowly waking up. The problem with cheetah, they're quite a challenge to dart. We were lucky that these guys know what they're doing on the property. They've had them they're wild cheetah, but they've had them in a boma just to get used to being fed, and makes the transport and the darting a lot easier. Cheetah get very stressed. They're one of our big cats, but they're the most sensitive cat, so we have to be very careful with how we dart them, the drugs we use, the supportive therapy. You see that we ran a drip through him as well while all the collars were being fixed and sorted out. He had his boosters, so it actually went really well. Things don't necessarily go that well to plan, according to plan, especially when we're darting. So I did do a bit of hiding there, but Clement, who runs the project here, he knew these cats quite well, but they were wild. If you did see that there were 3 other cats in the boma at the same time, they didn't like us going in to pick him up, so we did everything quickly. And that sort of took us an hour. And then he's slowly going to start waking up. We've given him a little bit of reversal, and we want to make sure he's stable before we let him go on his journey. There's a long journey. They're going to Hoedspruit, to Blue Canyon Reserve, and that's going to take a little bit of time. So on the way, he's going to have regular checks as well, because these are very special animals. We must look after each one. A few years ago, we used to lose quite a lot because we didn't realise how sensitive they are. So we have a very strict protocol when we're darting them now.
My name is Lee Lottrit. I'm a reserve representative at Blue Canyon Private Game Reserve. We are located just outside of Hoedspruit, 9,500 hectares, and we are a proud member of the Metapopulation, and we support the initiatives of the Metapopulation-inisiatief, and we've been working very closely with them for quite a period of time. In terms of the reserve, we have a requirement to have cheetah on the reserve, as they form part of the total ecological setting of the reserve. And from a guest experience, it's very important to have those type of animals also available for people to use. And whilst they have a game drive quality to them, it's also important for us to have them to work part of the bigger ecosystem that exists on the reserve. So today we've been very fortunate to receive another cheetah, which has increased our cheetah population to about 6 individuals, more or less. It's not the first, and I'm sure it won't be the last. And something that's quite vital for us as a partner in the Metapopulation program is not only to be recipients of cheetahs, but also to be in a position over time to be able to distribute cheetahs and new bloodlines to other reserves to further this initiative along the way. So today we are very happy to have received this male cheetah from the Kalahari with new genetics, new spice to the recipe, and we're looking forward to some great future with what all these cheetahs bring and do for our reserve.
I'm Donovan de Swart, the operations manager for the Metapopulation-inisiatief. We're a conservation organisation that works with cheetahs, specifically with the Metapopulation project, which is a project that is working with game reserves in South Africa, more specifically private game reserves, to help manage the genetics across South Africa. And what a metapopulation is basically a management method of managing lots of small populations as one large population. So some of the challenges we face for conservation for cheetahs in South Africa is that small game reserves or even medium-sized game reserves can only host a certain number of cheetah, let's say 10 cheetahs. But you can imagine that's not a genetically viable population of cats. So the best method that we have, because all these game reserves are fenced and there's no connectivity between them, we act as that sort of dispersal agent. So we manage cheetah populations, working with the managers of these different game reserves, and help disperse cheetahs from one game reserve to the other. And when we're reintroducing cheetahs to another game reserve, we're making sure that it's the best possible genetic matches for the cats that are already there. So for the last couple of days, we've been busy with a relocation of a cheetah that came from Swallow in the Kalahari. We've just moved it here to Blue Canyon in Limpopo. And it's all about managing the genetics of these cats. So it's a male cheetah that's come from Swallow, and is bringing fresh genetics to some of the populations here in the Lowveld. So hopefully this male meets up with some of the females here, and any of the babies that are produced then have got a nice genetic mix, and we continue managing the populations in that way.